I've been going back to the golden days of YouTube, and we talked about it a little bit. And I came across your page, and
Hmm.
I saw that you're just as pissed off as I am about it. So, so from the Dr. Mike to Nipper, Joey Swoll type of thing, and I see that you're doing some content on it. So I wanted to explore that a little bit with you.
Yeah, I'm working on my third Joey Swoll video right now, and I'm gonna go really hard on him. Actually, I'm just really sick and tired of all the posers in the space. Back when we started this thing, it was all about education, and I understand, like, we've already created all the educational content, and I
Yeah,
get that, right? Like, beginners have a gazillion channels to choose from, and a lot of advanced lifters, and especially from our generation, we stick to what works, right? And that's why the science-based lifting, I think, got so popular. I forget whose video I was watching that said it really well. Dang, off the top of my head, but basically, like, our generation, we know what works, and so we stick to that. The
right.
new generation wants to be like cool and hip and doing the new thing because it's different than, the generation before them. And that's why they dove so deep into the science-based stuff. And so, like, it's almost like we have this lost generation of guys going to the gym, literally, strapping fucking cables to their elbows to try to get more engagement on their back when they're doing a lat pull down.
I see them now with the foam roller on
Yeah, I
the.
saw that. The guy, the
Did you
guy
see
doing
that?
the curl. Oh my God, bro. I'm like, dude, you are not big enough to be worried about isolating.
No, if you could slide your arm
Yeah,
easily in a
yeah.
foam roller, bro, you've got bigger problems. You need to stick to the basics.
Dude, I need to find that video. Hold on. I'm gonna write that down for my video later.
Dude, they're
Because I
all
saw
over
that
the place.
video.
It's I don't know what it is, but it's just littered all over the place.
Dude,
These stiff arm
my
type of thing, and it's so weird, man.
bro, like literally by the time they're set up for their first exercise, I've already done like all my sets and reps, and I'm moving on to the next thing.
100%, 100%. I'm already full and swole, and
Yeah.
these guys are still dicking around. What boggles the mind is the one where they're just holding an empty you
Yeah,
attach
yeah.
to the. So
Yeah,
they're
they're
doing
just
some movement, and then this cable attachment thing is just hanging.
it makes absolutely no sense. It's kind of like when you're like working on your car and you're trying to figure out how to, let's say, get a bolt loose in a tight spot, and you put this whole fucking contraption together and you're trying to get it to work. And then your dad comes outside and he grabs one tool and he's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just,
yeah.
he's like, "What are you doing, idiot?" Right? It's kind of like that. That's
Yeah.
that's this generation, unfortunately, the lost generation. Um, and I help still a lot of kids in my gym, and it's funny to me because I'm really good at form, right? I'm really good at just kind of like, and that's what made me a great personal trainer when I did work in a gym, is I would
Yeah.
literally every day I would walk around the floor and I would just help people. I never had to sell training in my clubs when I was general manager, because I would run the fitness department too, because people would ask me to buy it because I would go on the floor, I'd plant
Right.
seeds
Right.
for weeks and months, and then it gets to a point where people were just like, maybe I should get a trainer for a month or so to learn more. Yeah, sure, come on over, we'll sign you up. And that's kind of how it was, and that's
That's
what
the
got
best way
the
to do it. That's the best.
yeah,
You were just giving the value one because you really enjoy it and you like it,
yep,
and then the side effect of that is you make sales with it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, even yesterday I was doing arms and I was doing hammer curls by the dumbbell rack, and the rows of benches are in front of me, and there's these two young guys lifting, and they're doing incline press, and I can just tell, like I just catch, out of the corner of my eye,
Yes.
shoulders are kind of raised, benching up
Yep.
here. And after his set was over, I waited for him to start his next set, and I was like, "Hey man, can I help you with something real quick?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Is it okay if I?" Because now you have to, make sure you ask people, "Is it okay if I adjust you?"
If I gently put my
Yeah,
fingertips on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, dude, no problem." So he lays back, and this is probably what I adjust the most with people in my gym when they're training, and whether it's like incline bench or flat bench, I'm up top and he's on the bottom. So I reach down, I grab his shoulders, and I depress and retract them. right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you feel this? And you see his whole body shift, and he's like, whoa!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Now my shoulders don't hurt
Light
when I
bulb
bench.
moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
now
it's
the
like the
chest is engaged.
yeah, well, the chest is engaged, the shoulders are taken out of the movement.
Yeah.
You can now do full range of motion without having to. And it's like instead of trying to figure out how to strap a fucking cable to your elbow so that you can maybe get more lat engagement, which is debatable. It's like these are the tips, the
Yeah.
simple tips. But there's a finite amount of simple tips. And when you need to produce content for YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, you have to start thinking outside the box, which you weren't really meant to think that way outside the box when it comes to fitness and
When it comes to this,
exercising.
no. Rage bait. A lot,
Hmm.
like, they know it's ridiculous, especially
Hmm.
the foam roller stuff.
Who's that? Who's the most rage bait guy? Joe Speedman, something like that. Joe the guy who's like having his clients hold a plate like upside down while
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
standing on a Bosu ball, and he's like, "This is great for athletes because Joel Speedman, I think he put like he constantly talks about how going to full ass to grass on squats is bad, right? And he doesn't even go 90 degrees. He goes like I don't know 50. He goes like 45 degrees, or he
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
like some specific degree that he's like only go to here.
When
And it's
when
like,
when
bro,
we
why?
know ass to grass is best, we absolutely know this.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. When I work out, like I lift heavy, right? I lift heavy, and I'm 41 years old. I can still lift heavy, and I even yesterday in the gym because I'm been helping these kids out throughout the week. Like they just happen to be there every time I'm there, and I'm like, hey, let me show you something else. Let me show you something else. And they're asking me about warming up. They're like, what should I do for a warm up when I'm going to lift heavy? And I'm like, yeah, these are things you can do for like your hips, your shoulders, and your knees and whatever. And they said, well, what do you do specifically? I said, well, I've been training for a very long time, and I come from a generation of training really hard and always training in full range of motion. And what's happened for me is because I always train heavy in full range of motion, I'm actively stretching my muscles, right? My joints are getting lubricated.
Yeah, from
Everything
start to
is
finish.
it's from start to finish because I'm always training. Like the dynamic stretching under a load works great. That's how
Yeah.
I improved my squat depth when I decided, I don't know, when I was like 20 years old, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of people telling me to go 90 degrees on a squat and then go back up because that's what we were taught back then.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just improve my mobility, my flexibility, and get used to going ass to grass. And I would literally just put on like 135, and I would just sit in the bottom of that range of motion. And I still do that. Like, that's my warm up for my
Right.
squats. Is I literally put the bar on
That
my shoulders and I
that's
sit.
that's that's perfect. And I actually do the same thing with chest flies.
Hmm.
I'll lay on the bench there with like a lighter weight and just let gravity take those weights down and just sit in that stretch type
Yep.
of thing,
Yep.
right? And it just does wonders for the activation, for the mobility aspect of it and the warming up, and like you said, we've been doing it for so many years, man.
Well, yeah, and it's like, I do one warm up, and I'm like, all right, let's go into the heavyweight. And a lot of times, my workout partners are like, wait, what? Like, how can you already do heavyweight? Well, I was like, well, I just warmed up.
Yeah,
I did a set of 12.
I'm good to
Yeah,
go.
I'm warm,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
That's how I was taught. I mean, that we
Yeah.
were thrown into the fire, and that's how we were taught to do things back then, right?
I think you're right though. It's a lost generation of lifters, man, and a lot of it's no fault of their own.
Hmm.
Um, they get this information that they see on Instagram and YouTube, and it's just a lot of rage bait, clickbait type of garbage now, man.
Well, a lot of these guys, well, it's like it's a race to get followers on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, right? So a lot of these guys, they'll jump on SARMs, or they'll jump on something not as maybe not as hardcore as like as a steroid cycle, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they'll hop on something immediately because they know the better they look, the more views they're going to get on Instagram,
yeah.
right?
Fast
So
track to fame and all of this.
correct. And so like you miss out on those most important foundation building stages of your lifting career. That's like we were talking about before this video started. In my Mike Israetel video, I specifically took B-roll from my original workouts that I posted on YouTube. And it's funny because when I posted those workouts, I just wanted to show people how I trained to inspire them to maybe train the same way. And I'm doing a set of dumbbell chest press. And as I'm talking about, the whole, Dorian Yates, Mike Israetel situation, I have it playing in the background. And 23-year-old Scott Herman is grabbing 100 pound. I'm like 100 and probably 58 pounds at the time, grabbing 100-pound dumbbells, repped them out for 8, full range of motion, threw them on the ground, grabbed 75s, repped them for 8, threw them on the ground, grabbed 45s, repped them for 8, threw them on the ground, and grabbed 15s and repped them for like 15 reps. Like, people are so disconnected from training hard that I expected more comments to be like, "Holy shit, how did you do that set?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking weight
Yeah.
to move in that short amount of time." But that's
And you got crickets. It was
yeah,
crickets.
like one or two people were like, "Holy shit, like that was an intense set." And that's
Or you get the people that will, you're only doing 15s,
yeah. When they look over, that's only yeah. When I do my heavy drop sets, back in my single days, it's like the cute girls were only walking by when I was repping out the 15s.
Happens every time, man. Happens every time. And when I'm at the gym, it's the same thing. And I know it in my brain that they're thinking that, like, this guy's only curling 20 pounds type of thing. They didn't see me start with the 55s or something, right? And all they see is the tail end of it. And it's like, I know they're judging me. I know they're judging.
Yeah, I can feel the eyes of judgment upon
Yeah,
me.
of course, man.
It's like Sauron's eye, just staring and looking
Yeah,
and
yes,
judging.
exactly. Always on you in the gym. And it's
But these kids, they miss out, Matt, on that foundational. I mean, I often wonder how a lot of these guys that are like on YouTube that are making content that are on gear. I'm like, when's the last time you even trained as a natural to be giving advice on how to build muscle? Like
yeah,
at some point you just become disconnected from what you should and shouldn't be doing. And if you're not natural and you're a new lifter and you don't experience what it's like to when you hit a wall or a plateau, you then have to try something else to push through it.
right.
Correct. But drugs will overcome that wall immediately. And so I try to tell the young guys in my gym, like, listen, if you're going to do stuff, like, wait until you've been training for a couple years so you
Yeah,
can experience what it's like to have to increase your intensity to overcome a plateau. And I'm not saying you can't increase your intensity to overcome a plateau when you're on gear, but you need the experience first of doing that naturally and broadening your horizons and increasing your exercise arsenal
yeah,
to have the knowledge to be able to try all these different things. In my Israel video, I talk about how, because everyone talks about like the best way to train. I've always loved bro splits, and it's like 1 year bro splits are the best. The next year, everyone's shitting on them.
yeah,
Oh, you're only hitting the muscle group once a week. Well, not if I decide to hit it twice a week. Like, bro split only needs 4 days. There's 7 days in a week, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like I can train chest on Monday and I can fucking train my chest again on Thursday with my shoulders. It's not a big deal.
yeah.
Oh no, you have to hit everything twice a week. Well, you really don't.
No,
But I enjoy training bro splits. And me and all my friends were able to make tremendous progress with bro splits. And we always focused on just lifting heavy and exercises that required, lifting the most amount of weight. Yesterday, these kids I've been helping out, they were training triceps, like literally like brand new lifters, and they're over there doing like single arm cable extensions. And I'm just like, guys, this is a
yeah,
great isolation exercise. Worry about that once you've built some muscle.
yeah, yeah,
And they're
exactly.
like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you guys need to be doing every exercise that you can lift the most amount of weight with for
Close
6 to 8
grip, close
reps.
grip bench press.
Yeah. I'm
You
like,
know,
skull crusher, power bomb, close grip bench press, or I'm like, you know what? You want to stay here? Go get the straight bar or the V bar and start doing push downs and increase the weight,
yeah, 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 yeah,
significantly.
yeah. Really lean over that shit and just push that weight down, or the skull. I always supersetted the skull crushers with then the close grip bench press, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, I just made a video last week because everyone's like, you don't make educational videos anymore. And I just put a video out last week on the close grip, what's it? The pull over to press. Remember
Okay, yeah.
that old school exercise, right?
Yep.
You go over your head, get the stretch in the long head, bring it over and press. Amazing exercise,
A
old
beautiful
school
exercise.
exercise. Um, and people are like, yo, all you do is drama videos. I'm like, oh, you only leave comments on the drama videos because I don't see a comment from
And
you on the pullover and press.
you know what impressed me about catching back up with your content and stuff is, you still sound normal to me. So- and
What do you
and
what do you mean?
that you understand that you're not putting out only educational type stuff, that you are doing the drama stuff because the algorithm picks that up, because people comment on it, and this is the
Yeah.
day and age that we're in, so you have to do that. And then you'll pepper in the education ones because you certainly don't want to go away from it, but you
Mhm.
have to adapt to what the current climate is. And that's what's bugged me about this, right? I mean, this is what we have to do. But you even saying that and admitting that, that's what a normal person would do because you're just being honest about it.
Yeah, well, and even in the drama, I try to, if I can inject some education, right, I try to do that too. And I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I have no problem talking shit. And the drama videos that I am doing, and I explained this to a few people in the comments yesterday. I'm like, I'm not forcing like, why are you forcing yourself to do drama? It's not that I'm like, this is how I feel.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not
You're
like,
just
I
taping
do
it.
have these frustrations around these
Yeah,
topics because I see what it's doing to the fitness community and I see what it's doing to this young generation. They're so lost. And so like I am pissed off and I do feel this way. And the stuff that I say in those videos is a mild version of what I would say in real life if we were talking shit.
yeah,
It's just I prefer helping and educating. That's why I started the channel to begin with.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but like I don't mind that I I can't say I don't enjoy it because I do enjoy,
yeah,
cutting people a new one when they deserve it.
yeah,
But I would rather like it takes a while. Like my how-to videos that I post, and those are my favorite ones to do. And I understand like not everybody on YouTube is a beginner lifter. Not all my subscribers are beginner lifters, but even as an advanced lifter, most guys can still use some form corrections on some exercises or oh yeah, my buddy just started training. Here, check out Scott's videos. He has
right,
form for
right,
everything,
right.
right? And
So it's a
that's
lot
why
of evergreen stuff for you.
yeah, and that content will get 10,000 views, 50,000 views, 100,000 views. Shit, my how to plank has 33 million views, right? Like
Yeah, right, exactly.
it,
So
it'll scale over time and that's
yes,
fine.
yeah,
But that 3-minute video, it took me probably, I don't know, 12 hours to film and edit
right.
because I write the script and I make it as concise as possible. And then I read. Well, I don't read. I basically what I do is I have like my notes over here. I have a teleprompter, but I don't like using it all the time because it sometimes it makes it not as natural, even though I'm pretty good with teleprompter.
Yep, yep,
But what I'll do is I'll have my script like on my computer over here, and then I'll break it into sections, and then I'll just fire off the talking parts, into the camera,
yep.
and I'll keep it as short as possible. And then when I'm filming the actual exercise, I get to film at least three different angles each time, depending on what I'm trying to show or to make the video less boring. So like, there's a
Yep.
lot that goes into a 3-minute fucking how-to video
100%.
just to get 10, barely 7,000 views out of the gate
Yeah.
because the algorithm doesn't push it. I think that the YouTube AI bot actually recognizes when a video is drama and then actually pushes that out more.
It has to. It has to because it knows that the negativity gets the eyeballs and the attention. And
I'm
like
like 99% sure it does that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I have people like all these new subscribers are like, "Oh, I didn't even see that video, the how to pull over and press video last week, but I
But they
saw
were
all the other
pulled
ones."
in with the Joey Swole,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
Yeah. Man, that guy, dude. What a piece of trash that guy is, man.
Like
What he's
Scott,
doing
yeah,
on his channel to sell barbecue sauce and to portray himself as like this gym messiah. It's like, bro, you are literally destroying people's lives for views and money. And I don't I think people should be called out on their shit. If you do
yeah,
something, you deserve to get called out. And we had talked about this before. Maybe instead of sending, order 66ing his, millions of followers to go destroy somebody's life, maybe you blur out their name, whatever, right? The first time you call somebody out, they deserve it. When you're starting to repost
yeah.
all of your content from 8 months ago,
Re-engage that army to go and inundate
yeah,
that creator again that may have learned his or her lesson.
yeah. How are you supposed to
Um,
do better? How are you supposed to do better
when
if
you're
Joey Swoll
constantly
needs?
being shit on type of thing. And I see the value of the calling people out for doing like, assholish type of stuff. Like some people are jerks, right? And that's fine. But he weaponizes the positivity, right? And
Yeah,
encourages the mob behavior.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then
It's
he just
exactly
kind of
what's
sits
happening.
back and he says, "Okay, I'm not I'm not telling you guys to go give this person hate." But yet he leaves their handle up on the video, doesn't blur their face. So he knows damn well what they're going to do, but he
Hmm.
gets to stay in his kind of tower of virtue and hands off and weaponize that positivity. And how contradictory is that though?
Oh, it's extremely contradictory, right? I was thinking about this too because I'm gonna do my second video, my third video on him, and it's interesting because the first video I did when I was noticing him reposting stuff, right? I did that video and I got some pushback, and I expected it because everyone kisses his ass because they don't know his
Yes, yes.
background, and all the shady things that he's done, right? To make us, people like you and me who are in the industry understand, oh yeah, this guy isn't who he says he is.
No,
He's
no,
totally
no.
doing this for
If you
the
have any inkling of the background, they would have a whole different
yeah.
you
Well,
know.
so people are like, he's just and plus people don't watch the entire video or they just see the title and they leave a comment.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of the negative comments, people were like, "So you think it's okay for these people to post it?" And I'm like, "Well, if you watched and I actually
Yeah.
something that's transformed is how I respond to people in the comment section. I used to always try to be so nice. Now, when people piss me off, I dig in the comments. Like you because I respond to like as many comments as I can when I first launch a
I,
video.
I do the same type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see me being having like all these conversations. Hey, yeah, man, this is great. So proud of you. I'm glad that your progress is great. And then someone leaves a negative comment. I'm like, fuck you, asshole. You be and then the next one
Scott
is like,
switches. Scott
dude, just
switches. Yeah.
well, yeah, and it's like if you actually watch the video, you would see that what I'm actually talking about is what we just said is the reposting of the content. But when that video went live, this girl reached out to me. Her name is Shannon, and Joey had taken one of her videos where she was slamming weights on all these like shoulder machines.
I saw the
Okay,
video. I saw the video, yeah.
yeah,
And
and
she
so for
even, self-deprecating, making fun of herself type of thing because she called herself out.
yeah, she literally posted the video talking shit about herself,
Yeah, yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. My music was so loud, I didn't recognize that I was slamming these weights." The second part of my argument was if you've been in the gym longer than like, I don't know, a month and you actually paid attention to the weights she was slamming, like first of all, like on the cable machine, she wasn't really slamming it that hard and the weight was so light. Like we've all
Yeah.
been there. You just let it down a little too
Of
fast
course. Of
and it makes that
course.
noise. And then on the shoulder machine, the seated shoulder press, when she kind of just dropped it and the weights bounced, and we talk about this. I actually brought her on the channel to interview her, and I'm like, dude, the rubber pad on that machine is this thick.
Yeah.
Like you think that machine's gonna break? And on the icing on the cake was she posted the video because she was making fun of herself, and
Of
she's like, "Don't
course,
slam."
of course. And it was
Yeah.
wrong for Joey to even because Joey knows damn well the
Well,
the
he
the
cherry
context.
picks.
So
He
well,
cherry
yes,
picks.
yes, he does, and that's the problem, right? But
Yeah.
and for me, that's just pure deception, though. And so that taints,
It's gonna sell barbecue sauce, bro.
it
Barbecue
taints
sauce ain't
everything.
gonna sell itself.
Yeah, well, right, exactly. So, values and scruples and whatever be damned. But
Well, this other girl reached out to me, and she was gonna do a follow-up interview as well, where basically what happened to her was really messed up, and her thing wasn't even a post; it was a story, and she had like 3,000 followers on her Instagram, which means probably 400 people max saw the story
right.
because with the
Yep.
algorithm, maybe
Yep.
less. And so, but somebody saw it, sent it to Joey Swole, and it was literally her doing a cable fly on the big cable machine, and the maintenance worker is like in her shit vacuuming around her feet. And so she posted a story like, "What the fuck," right?
Yeah.
Which rightfully so.
Of
Joey
course,
Swole makes Joey Swole makes a video. Who are you to whatever? This guy works here. He's just trying to get his job done. It's like, bro, I've worked at a gym since I was 14 years old. If any of my maintenance crew guys were vacuuming around someone's feet while they were exercising,
yeah. Yeah. You'd
I
have a
would go over and
conversation
have
with them.
war. Yeah, like I would have a conversation because that's not like this is a paying member in the gym and you're invading their space. Like you just
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, she showed me her analytics. Went from like 3,000 views to 600,000 views on her page. And all she got was death threats and all these insults and things. And she told me, she's like, you know what? 3 years ago, I actually was going for mental help because I was suicidal. I would have killed myself if this was 3 years ago. And so it's like, okay, well, Joey, what are you gonna do when someone does kill themselves
Yeah.
because you had to sell barbecue sauce and you're calling these people out and you're taking her video was taken out of context because he made her look like the bad guy. Oh, here's a clip. Let me cut the clip right at the point to where it makes
Yep.
sense for what I'm trying to do
Yep.
and then post it online.
Yep. And then just sit back and let everybody mob mob this poor girl and
Yeah. And she
so,
would and she was gonna do an interview and they got to a point where she's like, "You know what? I don't want to risk the hate again." And
right.
I was
So
like,
maybe
and I
just leave
told
it alone.
yeah, and I told
Until
her,
Buddy reposts it 3 months later.
well, he just recently reposted Shannon's video, the slamming
Yeah.
the weights, and then she actually reached out to me and she's like, if he reposts my video, gloves are off. Like I'm sick of this shit. But
Right.
in
Yeah.
my communication with her in DMs, I'm like, listen, like don't feel like you need to do an interview with me. Like if you do not feel comfortable, like this is between you and I. I'm not trying to capitalize on what happened to you. I just feel like if you want to tell your story, I'll help you tell your story because what happened to you is unfair.
Yeah.
And people like her who have their videos taken out of context deserve to have a voice.
Yeah. I think like I said, it always rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it's despicable how he hides behind this, positivity type of spin on things, and you know, I feel if anybody's going to learn something or take accountability, it's going to be more private, right? Like he can do the same type of thing, but blur their names and their face, and then just talk about the behavior.
Hmm.
He can have the same type of video,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't understand why well, I do understand why, because the algorithm and he gets all of these people commenting and then going over there, and so it shows that his video is valuable, and then he could
And
just
I
keep selling more sauces. So
yeah.
I know why. I know
And I
why,
would even go on a
but it's
limb, Matt,
wrong.
and be like, you know what? The people that are like that deserve it, sure. Maybe don't blur their face and their name because they tried to ruin someone else's life in the gym.
Yes, and there are egregious ones. There's
Yeah.
horrible ones.
But people who are yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Maybe blur their face.
borderline.
Like, hey, don't do this. Like, this is dumb, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
But that doesn't sell sauce.
No, it doesn't sell sauce.
Yeah,
You
and
you
we
need
eat a
that
lot of
spice to
chicken.
go.
We need the sauce for our chicken.
Yeah, it's just it's so disingenuous.
Whole space has been perverted for views and money, which is very sad. I mean, back in the day, I could upload 10 videos at once And that's what I used to do because I would film all the how-tos. Back then, there was no editing. It was literally my camera guy filming me talking,
Right, right. And
explaining.
then up.
Like all I did was cut the beginning and the end, and then upload the video, all my OG ones. And I could do a batch of like 5 to 10 videos at a time, and they would all get great views, and they would all grow. And the comment section was my favorite place to be because it was people literally asking questions,
Yeah.
and then I got to a point to where people started giving each other advice.
Right, right,
Now,
right. There used to be a whole conversation between
yeah.
everybody.
And now the comment sections are people just trying to get the funniest comment to get the most thumbs up, which I'll admit, like I do enjoy reading those too because they are
Yeah,
funny when
yeah,
they do hit them right. But it's just it's a totally different world, and it's something that I started to even recognize happening. 6, 7, 8 years ago, I started noticing the trend, and I started thinking to myself, like, what's going to happen to this industry? I'm getting older, obviously. We all get older over time.
yeah.
There's all these new creators coming out, which is great. I think it's great that there's more creators and more people making content, sharing their advice because there are a lot of great creators out there. But what's going to happen to social media? I mean, even back when YouTube added the feature to pay to not see ads, and
Right.
I was like, well, fuck me, right? Because I make money on those ads.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
even the monetization, like the amount of money you made back when I first started with barely any subscribers compared to now is astronomical
Yeah.
because the CPMs were higher. There was no paid, feature to get rid of ad and all these other things, right? And so I just kind of look at the space. And I'm like, where is it going to be the next 5 years, the next 10 years?
Yeah.
And that's why I started transitioning into some of my other interests, which are like gaming
The
and
gaming.
anime and things of that nature. And I'm glad that I did because now, for the last 4 years, I've been building a gaming franchise and it's doing very well. We have a mobile game, Wag Me Defense, that's live on iOS and Android. We have an anime trailer. We don't have the series done yet. We
I
worked.
saw that. That's sick.
Thanks, man. You dude. So we worked with the same studio that
I
does
I saw,
Castlevania and He-Man on Netflix for that
dude,
trailer.
and I'm
Tomb
a
Raider,
He-Man
Devil
guy.
May Cry.
So I've got a collection of He-Man, much to the chagrin of my wife. So
Yeah.
so I
This
got
is not. This is my background.
right. Mine's all in storage because I'm not allowed to have it. I want it in the living room, but she's
Just throw her shoes
no.
away.
But I've got like all the 80s stuff, and then I've got, the 2000, and then some of the remastered type of ones, and so like, but that animation studio that worked on the He-Man series,
Mhm.
phenomenal, and your trailer is just spectacular.
Dude, so thank you. We have U2's toys, right? That we haven't
Oh
released
shoot,
yet. These are
that's awesome.
prototypes. I actually designed these myself.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so much fun. And then we have a
Detailed too, though, man.
Oh yeah,
Very
I'm the
detailed.
most OCD person you'll ever meet. Like when my wife is shopping, she'll always hand things to me. She's like, "Is this good?" And I'll like, inspect it and
Right?
try to
Yeah, yeah. Check the stitching.
yeah.
So,
Seriously, well, like this character, Melcros, if you can see, she has
yep.
like all these lights, like green and pink, and all these details on her.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and forth
Oh,
with
snap. Even
YouTube's.
at the back there. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like literally, I zoom in and I'm like, hey, this has to be this color, this has to be that color. And what's interesting is like Todd McFarlane. I saw an interview with him, the creator of Spawn and McFarlane Toys, and
Believe me, I
he
know.
was
Yes. Yes.
yeah, and he was doing an interview and he's like, does it really matter if we don't get every detail right on a toy? He's like, yes, because the fans will annihilate us. And that's kind of
100%.
how I feel, right?
He knows. He knows.
But we have a webtoon series for our comic book, and then actually we haven't released any toys yet because we haven't gone into prototyping. But I ended up contacting this guy. Have you watched the show The Toys That Made Us on
Yes.
Netflix?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a guy in like almost every episode, David Vonner. He's like one of the only black guys giving commentary. There's like three, I think. So he's easy to point out. And he worked at like his desk was right next to the creator of He-Man. Um, He worked
Nice.
at Marvel as he was the lead developer for the 3 3/4 inch toy line for the Marvel Universe toys. He
Oh,
was a
awesome.
part of the team that actually helped Marvel come back to life with their toy lines during the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man days, right? And so I reached out to him on Instagram a couple of years ago when we started working with him, and I sent him our trailer, the anime trailer that you watched. And I was like, "Hey man, would love to chat with you about getting some prototypes done for toys. Here's our trailer." We had a call the next day, and then
Really?
he actually designed 6 of our 12 heroes. We're starting off with 3 bad guys and 3 good guys, and the designs that he created are so insane. Where I can take those toys, I can make them action figures, I can blow them up and make them like Hulk hands. I can do whatever I
Yep,
want with
yep,
them.
yep.
Right? But we're able to work with these types of people in the space because my team and I, my fellow co-founders, we focus so much on not just like the game being fun, but the story, the lore, the IP. I mean, even our comic book, yeah, I'll show you right here. We worked with Marvel creators on our comic book.
Oh,
You can tell
nice.
from the art here, right? The
Nice.
guy who did this cover, him and his team, Todd Wanish, I mean, he used to literally work all the Comic Con events with Stan Lee. And it was funny because we had our first meeting and he had a photo like way in the background on his bookshelf. And I'm very OCD with details. So I
Right, so you
picked things
caught it.
out. I was like, oh, you get a photo of Stan Lee back there. And he's like, dude, you're the first person to ever not ask if that was my grandpa. Like, you were the first person to recognize who that was in the photo from that far away.
That
And when we did our anime trailer, we had our first meeting with the anime team. And I consume a lot of anime. I consume a lot. And so one of the guys, he had all of his toys like way in the background on his shelf like this. And I was looking and I recognized this one like toy he had on the side, and it was this duck toy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I always forget the guy's name, but he has blue pants and he's yellow and he has like a flight jacket on. And I was like,
yes, yes,
"What I'm
yes,
talking
yes.
about,
I
right?"
know the guy. Yes.
I still have him in a tub downstairs, but I was like, "Hey, that's Ninja Turtles back there, right?" And his smile on his face. It's like, oh,
Of
okay, I'm working with
course.
somebody who's actually into gaming and into
See?
cartoons.
Real recognizes real, right? So
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the same in the fitness space, and that's kind of a lot of the reactions I'm getting on a lot because a lot of people I'm noticing are rediscovering my content, and I have so many comments over the last couple months on these drama videos. Oh, I haven't seen your videos in 10 years. I'm happy to see you're still around, and I'm like, well, I didn't stop making content for 10 years, but the algorithm
yep.
wasn't
Yep.
pushing. And they're like, how did you not age?
Well, that's the cross that you have to bear, Scott.
Yeah.
that's just, that's the way it is.
Dude,
So,
you go through cycles in the fitness space. So my goal, and people, I don't think a lot of people understand. My goal was never to be the biggest guy, right? Like we were kind of joking around about the kid sliding the foam roller over his
yep.
arm.
Yep. Yep.
I enjoy working on cars. I rebuilt my Camaro. It's like 1,000 horsepower now. Rebuilt the
Oh,
engine. I
very
rebuilt
nice.
everything, right? I like that I can lean over the hood and reach down, and my arm fits
Right,
in,
right, right, right.
in all these
Exactly.
hard to reach areas to be able to do things like that. Like I like being functionally fit.
Yeah.
It was never my goal to be this massive bodybuilder. I mean, I did the Arnold Classic and the Olympia for 13 years, and I literally saw people grow up from like 15 years old to their 20s, and they come back every year and get to a point where they're bigger and stronger than me. And
Yep.
I'm like, wow, it looks like they're like, dude, your videos helped me out and got me started. And I'm like, well, it looks like it worked because you're
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe you need to stop, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
Yeah, stop watching the
but
video.
I wanted to get your 2 cents on Jeff Nippard because I know
Yeah,
you've been going hard on him and our friend John Bravo, you know, is doing a hell of a job, in investigating this stuff and piecing everything together. And even as far back as the Mike Van Wyck situation, which, to the normal person, and I got flack for it because I made a video about it when Bravo released the full footage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And you clearly see, and God
You
forbid,
see him instigating. You see him
dude,
instigating.
I got such pushback on it, and hate and vitriol, and I said, Buddy said to his camera guy,
Yeah. Come here.
Let's go, let's film this shit." And then they walked over, purposefully walked over to say, "Hey, what's up with thing?" And whatever he said to him. And he 100% wanted that reaction in my estimation. Like I don't know of any other explanation for it. And when I dared to say that, and this is the other thing that pissed me off, when I dared to say that, people automatically, "So you're okay with assault and violence and all of this?" I'm like, and,
Sometimes, yeah, but
and, and like Mike Tyson says,
I
right?
didn't. The bullies didn't leave me alone because I asked politely when I was
Right,
a
right,
kid. I beat the
exactly,
shit out of
exactly.
them. That's how they
Yeah.
left me alone.
So, but I pushed back and I said, Please point out exactly when I said, because words are important.
Yeah.
Tell me when I said violence is acceptable."
Hmm.
Because I didn't. I'm talking about this aspect of it and this aspect alone. I'm not
That
condoning.
situation required zero violence. It wasn't like it was a
Yes,
dark alley. It
of
wasn't like it was a
right,
public place. People are
100%,
around in the gym.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah, Matt, you're totally right. And even in the video that I did, you'll notice throughout the video, I specifically in the beginning, in the
yeah,
middle, in the end, reiterated this was not okay
yeah.
because I know people don't watch the entire video. So they missed the part.
And you still get those comments though, bro.
Correct. But I'll tell you what, on my video that I did like a week ago, that I saw, I didn't get any of those comments, at least on YouTube. And in my video, I actually talk about like Jeff could have died, which
Absolutely
I
could
don't
have
think a lot
happened.
of people really quite realize. Because when I first saw that video, I didn't really pay attention to the confrontation. My first thoughts were, he almost got
That
impaled
rack.
on that rat. Like
Yeah.
I've worked in a gym since I was 14. I've hit my head on so many fucking machines. Like, because I was maintenance, so I was cleaning. So I'd be
Yeah, yeah,
cleaning,
yeah, yeah,
cleaning, and
yeah.
I'd stand up
Yep,
really quick, smash my head on stuff,
yep,
or walk into shit, right? It just happens. So I know, like, those things hurt even when you don't hit them
yep.
that hard.
Imagine the back of the head
Yeah, he'd be dead.
slamming into that hook.
That hook would have
Like,
right into his back
yeah.
of his head. He would
So,
died. He would have
so,
died.
you know, best case scenario, paraplegic.
Yeah,
Worst case is sheer death, right?
yeah.
So that said, you're also allowed to talk about Jeff's role in it. And that's all I talked about too. And God forbid, I just got piled on for pointing that out.
So your generation is the same as mine, where there's an old saying where like you never really know what you're gonna do until you get punched in the mouth,
Yes.
right? And growing up, getting bullied and things, right? The people who talk the most shit don't stop until you punch them in the mouth, because then they realize, oh, I don't like this feeling of missing teeth and
Yeah.
my nose
Yeah.
bleeding, right?
Yeah.
If you've never been hit in the face like this and
Yeah.
had that feeling of your nose being tingly,
Yeah.
more than likely you talk a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I mean, like, look at my nose.
Yeah.
So, you know, so broken in grade six with in a fight. So,
Well, my point is like I grew up in an environment where I had an older brother, his friend, like there was a lot of like fighting and things that happened, and you start to be have different kinds of situational awareness.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so when I watched the CCTV camera footage, I'm looking at the situation and I'm seeing Mike's body language and I'm seeing Jeff's body language. And Jeff is clearly instigating to the point to where Mike is over here, not even paying attention to Jeff anymore. And Jeff says, "Come here with the camera," walks over, continues to talk shit. And then that's when Mike finally turns around, had enough, and then put his hands on Jeff, which we both agree he shouldn't have done. He
Right.
should have, but the rage was building up. And
Yeah.
again, like I understand also how Mike felt because I know what it's like to be constantly harassed. Like To me, I would rather get punched in the face 10 times than get picked on for like 6 months straight and have people constantly
That,
berating me
that
and degrading me,
that's a
because
good
the
point.
emotional damage for me is much more intense than the physical. I can handle
Then just
physical damage.
yeah,
Cuts,
exactly. I know I'll heal from that shit. So, I'll get over it.
yeah, come
Fine
back
enough.
stronger. But and it's like, so I used to I'll tell you a funny story from my youth. So there were these group of kids at my school. We called them the skater kids. They were from like the rich part of town, and they
Yep.
were into skateboarding. This was the '90s, early 2000s, right? And they just thought they were hot shit. It was a group of like six of them, and they would always just like talk shit to me for some reason. I had no idea why. And I would walk to my car after school because I didn't have a pass to park my car in the parking lot.
Mm.
So I had to walk down the street to my friend's house. Every day they would drive by and they would yell like all these profanities out the window to me every single day. And I'm just like, I don't even know you. I don't hang out with you. And they would just constantly out the window yelling all these things.
Yep.
So one day my friends and I, my other two friends, we had enough. And I said, "Hey, you want to beat the shit out of the skater kids after school today?" They're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." Because we knew where they parked their cars, right?
Yeah.
And so apparently, throughout the entire day, because my two friends had different classes than me, people were like, "Hey, what are you doing after school?" And they were like, "We're gonna go beat the crap out of the skater kids." And people were asking me, "What are you doing after school?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat the crap out of the skater kids." So apparently, the skater kids
Caught
pissed off
wind
a
of it.
lot. We're pissing off a lot of people
Oh,
because
real. Oh, okay.
so like after school came and there was 40 of us that showed up where these kids packed their cars to beat the crap out of the skater kids. And so it was in a neighborhood where they packed, right? So the police were called, and I'm wearing a Superman t-shirt, which makes the story even funnier.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like the ringleader of
Superman
this.
shows violence.
Well, Superman sticks up for people getting picked on, right?
Yes, yes, he does.
So the police come and they're like, "What's going on?" And they come over to me because I'm like in the front of the group, and they're like, "What's going on?" And I'm
You're the
like,
ringleader, Scott.
I said, "Well, these kids have been talking shit to all of us for the last 6 months. We're tired of it. We're gonna beat the shit out of them." and, and the cop goes,
Old
"I
school cop, I
understand where
bet.
you're."
Come on.
He goes, "I understand where you're coming from. Just don't do it here."
It
And that was it. But like again, that's the generation. So like
is
I
a
grew
generation.
up anyways, like that story, I'm not trying to sound cool. But the point of that story is I understand the situation. I know what it's like to be picked on, I know what it's like to be rated, and words do hurt. And it looked like Mike had just had enough. And so it's funny because somebody actually went to Mike's Patreon. I guess there's a video on Mike's Patreon where he talks about what actually happened
Oh, okay.
with Jeff. And so he left a comment on my video last night. I saw it as I was going through my comments,
Mike
and he
did.
said, "I'll read it to you." He said, I screenshotted this last night. It just popped up. He said, "I watched the full video on Mike Van Wyck's Patreon, then immediately unsubbed. I figured I'd take one for the team." That's what he said. He said that Jeff was laughing to him while he walked by, and Mike said, "Sup, something funny, or is something about to get really funny? I don't know why you're laughing." Then Jeff finishes his set. He walked towards Mike while still laughing, and then shouted Mike several times, trying to get his attention. So that's the footage where you saw him telling his cameraman to come. And he said, as Mike approached him, he told Jeff's cameraman not to film him, but obviously he still did because we had the footage.
Yeah.
And then Jeff was trying to square up with him, so he shoved him. So Mike's claiming that Jeff tried to square up, which I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what he said in the Patreon.
Yeah.
Mike was also already mad at him because he and Jeff's months prior agreed to not make videos about each other because they don't see eye to eye. He also clarified that he shoved Jeff's cameraman because he felt him intentionally tap into him as he walked by. That I noticed, and not a lot
Yes.
of people picked up on that.
Yeah.
Is when he
Yeah.
walked by the cameraman, that
Yeah.
that like turn and shove that he did
Yeah.
is like very clear to me that the cameraman did one of those like shoulder.
Yep.
shoulder hits.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like there was so much instigation that happened, but back when Bravo made his video, Nippert was the golden boy, the golden
Yes.
science boy.
Yep.
Now people are actually showing different opinions on that situation because now they're pissed about the whole Hussein and Julian video,
Yes, yes, yes.
the backtracking on all the science. Like all of a sudden now Jeff Nippard like figured out training hard builds muscle. Like, what have you been doing the last 16 years? And
Yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah, right. What have we all been preaching for the last like forever?
yeah, dude, and my friend Joey B, he says in his videos that a lot of people are now calling into question whether Jeff Nippert is 100% natural or not, because they're saying, well, then how did you become an IFBB pro training the way you did?
Yeah,
If that was suboptimal, because he looked phenomenal when he got his pro card.
yeah,
Like he was huge, he was
yeah,
full. Like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
did you get to look like that following training advice that isn't so scientific? So he's just kind of being thrown to the wolves, and a lot of that core fan base is starting to wake up and not just believe everything he says because he
Which,
shows a
which
study.
wish people weren't so naive and so quick to just believe everything that
People
these
want to
guys.
believe that there's like a shortcut to everything, or they want to believe
There's a
that
trick to something, and
there's a trick to something. Yeah, and honestly, the reason why most people don't get the results they want in the gym, and it's not because they're not trying hard, okay? It's because they don't quite have the right level of intensity. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when I train with new gym lifters, or even some guys that younger, right, that have been training for a year or two, I put them through a workout with me and they're like, "Holy shit, like this is intense." It's like, well, yeah, you need to push your limits. You need to push through failure. You need to know what it's like to push through that burning sensation.
yeah,
I mean, our generation grew up doing buddy curls until your
yeah,
arms fell off, right? Like
yeah,
that's the kind of shit that
exactly.
we would run, like you said, we would run
Run
the
the
rack,
rack. Yeah,
right? And we would
yeah.
do all these things to failure, not caring whether or not it was the most scientific way to train, because at the end of the day, science can't explain every outcome. It just can't.
Exactly. We don't have a
It can
formula for every bloody outcome. I remember this is a funny story. Uh, when I was 17, 18 or something like this, I was at the gym running the rack for biceps, right? So curling, starting off with whatever
20s,
whatever it was, and ending up
20s,
with
15s, 10s, 7.5.
yes, and ending up with the fives, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, though, my my left my left bicep, like I went to check it out and stuff. My left bicep, it balled up like three-finger gap between the elbow and the bicep. It balled up here. It scared the shit out of me.
You didn't tear it?
It just no, but it just all knotted up, and I just started like massaging that thing, and
That's
the
scary, dude.
pain was intense, man, because it shortened up and balled up, and I loosened it up and whatever, and it went back to normal. But the only thing in my mind was, I'm not going to be symmetrical. I'm not going to be symmetrical. That was the mindset, right?
Yeah.
But these are the things that we did.
Yeah, man. These are the things that we did. It's a lack of intensity, or it's a lack of an understanding of what real intensity is that's holding back a lot of this lost generation.
And
And
then
again,
couple that with consistency.
yeah. And I'm not
That over
saying
time.
that, yeah. And I'm not saying that, Matt, to say that they're not training hard, right? Like, yeah, they're training hard, but they don't know what it feels like to do the kind of intensity that we did.
Yeah.
Like we were born in the fire. They
Right,
haven't been
right.
they haven't been thrown in the fire yet.
No, 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 no. And like Tom Platt says, you've always got five more.
Yeah.
There's always five more. So when you think you're done, and they've worked hard, like you said, and you're right. Um, we always went that five more. You still have five more.
Yeah, well, because we weren't afraid to use bad form.
Well,
And
right.
that's actually something that I fell into for a couple years, and I was always like, no, it has to be good form, good form, good form.
I did the same thing. It happened to me too.
And I ended up holding myself back
Yep.
because I wasn't overloading as heavy as I used to when I had the
Yeah, yeah.
shittier form.
Get that
You go
body English going.
yeah, like you learn proper form, and then you learn how to break that form to get more gains, but
Yes.
still be in control.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's the education that these young cats miss out on because they're kind of following the whole science-based bullshit type of thing, right? So,
And again, like supposed to be a guide. Like science is a guide. And there are, and I even said this in my Gears of Tell video. I said, listen, and a lot of people commented on this, and they were so happy because my message at the end of the video was, listen, there's fundamentals, there's exercises, obviously, that work. There are specific ways you need to train to build muscle. There's specific ways you should be eating to build muscle, recovering to build muscle. And there's so many different programs that you can do. Try them all. The best program is the one that you are the most excited about to train with. And
yes, yes.
I hate push pull legs. I hate upper lower. I like to go to the gym and annihilate one or two body parts at a time.
Yep.
And I don't care if I'm there 2 hours. It's my downtime.
Yeah.
Literally, it's my escape from the real world.
Yeah.
And I don't care about junk volume. Like that was a big topic a couple years ago. Junk volume. And it's like, I don't fucking care.
No.
Well, I can handle more junk volume than you because I've been doing it longer. So is
Yeah,
it really
right, exactly.
is your junk volume the like what's considered junk volume for you? Is that considered junk volume for me? Because I've pushed past that limit.
Right, right.
For me, it's just normal training, right? It's like when a marathon runner has to run a race that's 6 miles long, they train running 15 miles.
Yeah, they don't train for the exactly six, you know.
Yeah, so it's like pushing your body past its limits is not always something that science can explain. And I always use like gymnasts that, Olympic gymnasts. These
Oh
people
yeah.
train so hard every single day.
For how
Like,
many hours, Scott?
yeah,
I
for how
mean,
many hours? Go tell them they're doing junk volume
yeah,
when they're
yeah,
able to hold an
yeah.
iron cross for like
Iron
20.
Cross
Yeah.
is such a phenomenal move, and the builds on them, dude. You know.
But that's the point is the science-based people who hide behind science as a brand, I feel like they do more to restrict people's training and their results than enhance it
Yeah,
because they're giving these finite parameters of how you should be training and which exercises you should be using.
yeah.
Like, athlete X every other day, this exercise is killing your gains. And then a month later, this exercise is the best for it's the same fucking exercise.
Right.
This exercise is terrible for your joints. And it's like every exercise is terrible for your joints, right?
Yeah,
And I feel like I'm one of the few that just stuck to my morals on exercises, right? It's like, how are you going to
and
sit
that's
here
why I
and
say
tell
you're
me?
still normal.
Well, it's like, how are you going to tell me that a leg extension is bad, but squatting 315 for reps is
Right,
good for my
right.
knees,
Yeah,
right? You're going to tell, oh, don't do leg extension. It's bad for your knees, but go lift this, 10 times the amount of weight on a squat and it's
yeah,
good. It's Gucci,
yeah.
right? And that's why people got on him. And that's why I got on him because it's so obvious he doesn't lift heavy because every time he demonstrates a squat, deadlift, or bench, he looks like a fish out of water,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
why he probably
It,
started using fake weights on the deadlift.
it's funny. It does not look natural on them, pun
No, it does
intended.
because
So,
and it's like with anything in life, if it's not something that you actually do all the time, that's why I don't teach on my channel how to do like a power clean because I have no
right,
idea
right, right,
how to
right,
fucking do
right,
it the right
exactly.
way. Like I have a general idea of how to do it. But that's a movement where if you don't practice that movement and you don't do it
Oh
as part
yeah.
of your weekly, like there are so many form cues to
Oh,
perfect
dude.
a
Yeah.
power clean.
It would be irresponsible to try to
Yeah,
teach somebody
exactly.
else to do it.
That's
You
why I
know.
don't have a how-to power clean because
Yeah.
I don't have the experience to teach that a complex exercise like that in a way that's going to be beneficial to a new lifter because it's still new to me.
Right. Right.
And I don't
So
care to learn it because I don't need it's an exercise that I need to do.
no. Well, that's why just kind of circle back to everything. I mean, that's why I find myself going back to the golden era of fitness YouTube, and coming across you again was a treat. You'll laugh, like I'm watching like Del Rey Misfits type of
Yeah.
stuff. It's a Jason Genova. Um, and the odd thing is, I've got Jason Genova calling me and texting me. So
Oh,
so
dude, what a good guy, Jason. He ordered 66 to me once. It was so funny. I think I'm
so
the one of the only people he orders 66. Then people were like, "Why?" I even forget why he did it. I think I called somebody out for something, and I was actually in the right.
yeah.
He's like, "Order 66, Scott
Yeah.
Herman." He fucking whatever, whatever. I'm like
Yeah,
laughing
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
ass off.
That's his voice. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's a funny story maybe for another time. But
What happened? Didn't someone slap him? Was it Rich Piana?
yeah, it was Rich Piana. Yeah, it was Rich
Yeah,
Piana. And
I
I
remember
was
that.
that was when he was with, like, that was his 5% days and stuff. But he was
Yeah.
my athlete when I worked at Mutant.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if he was still around today with his 8 hour arm workout with
Yeah,
these
yeah,
science
yeah,
based.
yeah, 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 yeah. My buddy Alex Ardenti shot that.
Something I posted again, again, I keep reference. It's the most recent video, the video about Dorian Yates calling out Mike Israetel, right? So
The
like,
bag of
out,
shit.
what? Yeah,
The
bag
bag
of
of
shit. Yeah. So like, what's ingrained into my brain because I grew up reading comics and watching cartoons and anime like Dragon Ball Z and like all these different like fighting types shows, right? It's always like push your limits, break your limits. It's you always get to a point to where like you're about to die and then you have to transcend. For Dragon Ball Z is a great example because everybody knows it, right?
Yep.
It's like literally Goku is about to die. He has no energy left and he transcends, becomes Super Saiyan for the first time. And every single time he meets a new bad who's stronger, he gets the shit kicked out of him. He has to train harder. He's training in like 1,000 times gravity and all this crazy stuff. And that going into the gym with that, just seeing that every single day, your thought process is like I never even heard the term junk volume until the science-based guys started making videos about it.
Right, right. It wouldn't have even entered my mind, bro. I mean, and there's a lesson in the Dragon Ball Z and the anime type of stuff like that to push and break through
Well,
your
even
limits.
one of the newer ones that I really enjoy is called Black Clover. And the main character, so the anime it basically is about a world where magic is everything, and the main character was born with no magic, like the only
Oh,
person
okay,
ever.
okay, yeah, yeah.
But then it happens to turn out that he was born that way and now has the ability to use anti-magic, and he has these swords that basically can dispel any magic spell. It's
I'll
pretty
have to check it
badass.
out. I'll have to check it
But
out.
because he was born with no magic, he would just work out every day like a crazy person. So he's really strong. But his thing, he says, my magic is not giving up. Like that's his mentality.
See, that's
And
yeah. See,
whenever he needs to push his limits, he always says, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And he'll like be on the ground, not able to move. He's like, I'm not done yet. And he gets up.
see,
And they
that's
end
the
up,
type of stuff that jacks me up. You know?
yeah, it jacks me up too. And then he ends up joining this squad called the Black Bulls. They're like the misfits of all the Magic Knights. And their main captain, he kind of like sits back and he lets his squad get the shit kicked out of him. And then he'll just be like, all right, it's time for you guys to push past your limits. And they're like, fuck yeah. And then they all like, get riled up and they push past their limits.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me because I've been rewatching the series for the last couple weeks. And I just keep thinking to myself, because of all this bullshit that's going on in the space, I'm like, this is what got me motivated as a kid. And now I'm kind of going to the gym, and I was just rewatching my original workout videos because I had them in the Introtel video. And
Yeah.
I was, curling 135. I was at the barbell with a 45 on each side, and I had my friend Tom there spotting me, all right, to do like heavy negatives. I thought to myself as I was editing that video, I'm like, man, I'm such a bitch. I haven't done that in like 10 years, gone over and thrown heavy ass weight on the barbell. So I was training biceps yesterday. I did biceps and triceps. I started out with barbell curls. I couldn't do the 45s. I haven't done it in so long, but I could did 35s.
There you go.
And the people around me were watching me because I'm like standing there and like, what is this kid gonna do? Kid, what is this guy gonna do with this barbell? And then they see me grab it, step back, and just fucking, start curling it. And they're like, holy shit, right? And in my head, I'm like, push past your limits, push past your
Yep, yep, yep. That's the new. way to break through to these younger guys getting into the game.
Yeah, and I've kind of thought about that too, because that's what got me to do all these crazy things was watching all the people around me.
Right, right.
So like after biceps, I went to triceps, and my favorite exercise is the power bomb, right?
Yep,
And I do full range of motion all the way down, all the way up. And so like I grab the 80 and I'm blasting this thing out like full extension of the elbow. I'm blasting
yep.
this thing out for 15 reps like it's like candy. And like this kid comes over to me, he's like, "How the hell are you doing that with an 80-pound dumbbell? Like that dumbbell looks fake." And I was teaching him proper form after, right? And like that, and that's the kind of reaction that I want to get because that's how I was. I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I
So
want to learn how to do that.
maybe you planted the seed there.
Yeah.
And and the reason you can do it is because you built that foundation like you did. You
Yeah,
know,
and your joints aren't going to snap and your tendons aren't going to tear because you build it over time.
of course. So, the everybody now, the muscles are just getting bigger and stronger, but the joints and the ligaments are not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's, these guys that hop on straight away, instead of
They don't
waiting,
realize that.
they don't realize that. And back in our day, and you probably attest to it, wait until you reach your genetic potential, and then if you want to, you can hop on the gear, right? So,
Well, the
but
whole
now they just
point.
get on right away.
So this is something more plates, more dates would talk about. I did a video with him I think a couple years ago talking about this, and he was like, "Listen, the first time you blast gear, you're gonna get the most gains. So why would you waste that potential if you haven't even reached your natty limit yet?
Right, exactly. Get to like this, like, oh my God, I look great, and then go, you know, break past that.
Go further beyond." And again,
With the, yeah,
and that's fine if that's what you want. It's your body. You can do whatever
right,
you want.
for
As
sure.
much as I want to preach stay natural
Yeah,
for all the reasons that I preach it, like I have friends that are I don't care.
yeah, yeah.
It's
You have no illusion that
yeah,
people are going to jump on it, right?
just do it the right way.
Just do it the right way, and it's going to be better for you.
Well, it's the
So,
same thing. Let's talk about cars, right? So my Camaro, I rebuilt the engine a couple of years ago as 1,000 horsepower, right? And if I were to take that supercharger and just slap it on top of my motor without rebuilding the internals, the motor's going to blow,
of course,
right? The
of
way that I
course.
have it tuned. And it's the same thing with your body. Like the steroids is the supercharger, and then your body is the stock engine block that's about to explode
Yeah.
because you haven't built up the foundation yet. Same thing.
I like to say, all these guys have rented physiques in 20, 30, 40 years type of thing. Their their body's going to be broken down. They're probably not going to be training anymore. Meanwhile, you and I will be training into our 60s, 70s.
I feel like they deflate more. And that's what I've been noticing too, because, I guess the best science experiment is on yourself.
Yep.
So I've been training like 28 years, right? Since I was 14. I'm 41 now. Um, and I've gone like I've had bouts where I can't train as hard. I can't
Sure.
do as much cardio. I can't maybe I missed 2 weeks in the gym because I had to travel and do all this shit, right? And I come back and it's like, well, my physique never really I feel soft, but my physique doesn't really change all
Yeah,
that
because how
much.
you trained and natural and building all that up, it sticks.
Yeah, it sticks.
It
And
sticks.
a lot of my friends growing up that were looked amazing that were on gear. It's like you don't even look like you work out anymore. Like how do you not have just like that base that you literally could have
Because
maintained just
it's a
from
rented physique. They jump on it, and it's there because of this and this alone. They didn't build up that base, that foundation, so they've got nothing that revert back to their original form. That's
almost like revert worse than their original form.
worse even.
And I also wonder too, because what ends up happening, I think, what a lot of people, not everyone obviously, is when you are on gear and it is helping. I mean, yeah, you still have to train hard, but you can also kind of train half-assed and
Yep.
get at a slightly above average results. And so Then you finally get off the gear and you keep training the way you did when
So,
you were
yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is like a shit way to train. And you start to wonder why you're not able to maintain. And it's like because you kind of lost that foundational way to train, at least at an intensity that can help
Or
you
they never learned
progress,
it. They never learned it,
or never
and
learned
then
it,
this
which is
the steroids, the gear was a crutch.
well, like the half reps, right? So there is a place for half reps. And a lot
100%.
of times, if I do a half rep, let's say I'm benching, right? I'll do full range of motion the entire set, and then if I want to squeeze out a few more reps, if I can't do forced reps, I'll get some half reps in just to try to get more of a pump. Same thing with like biceps, whatever. But I feel like when people were, they don't preach it as much now, but I feel like maybe like 6 years ago, like everyone was like half reps, half reps, half reps, and I'm like, well, you're on fucking gear, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
you wipe your ass, you're getting a bicep workout.
yeah.
Like
Right, you got to pump.
yeah, so there's just all these things that can hold you back if you don't build that foundation first.
Yeah.
Plus, like, what's the point? I mean, yeah, if you just want to be as big as possible and you don't care if you die, like when you're 50, great. If that's your goal, like, yeah, I don't want to live past
Yeah, yeah.
50, so
Then get after it.
yeah, get after it, bro. But like, I want to
You-
be 80, 90, 100 years old and still be functional and not falling apart.
and looking tight and right too.
I mean, what? Yeah, and when the
It,
robot uprising happens in like 5 years,
yes, you
all
want to be
these
ready.
yeah, like
Yeah.
all these AI robots that people are gonna start putting in their houses. You don't have to be the fastest guy, just gonna be faster than the guy next to you. That's how you survive the zombie
Exactly.
apocalypse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, I lived by that as a kid. You just have to be faster than your than your friends, man.
Remember that movie Zombieland? He's like number
Yep.
one, cardio, and he's like
Cardi
keeps running in a circle.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Scott, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate your time. I'm glad we connected and I would love to do it again, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about.
Wait, there's always something to talk about.
There's always something to talk
Always
about. You got
something.
that right.
So thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in.